Today we talk about the actors community. We should have an addiction to drama, storytelling, an addiction to drama. And it's a good thing. We are enthusiastic about drama. We are very passionate about drama. And we know how we are creating drama, suspense, thriller, while in writing and also while we are doing the performance. Now, some actors are actors, some actors are directors, actors. Now, gestures and movements. I have talked about gestures and movements, as language. When we talk about choreography, when we talk about gestures and movements, movement as language, how you express yourself through the movements and, how you use movement as a language. Your relationship with self. Your relationship with self. What is your relationship with self? What is the correct form? If you have any form, what is the correct form? Rather, we can focus on the process. And when we are talking about the form, which one is the right form? This person is telling this is the right form. This person is telling this is the right form. And you are also, confused which one is the right form. And when you focus on the process, when you focus on the journey, when you get immersed in the process, you will find that you will feel that this is the form I want to capture, this is the form I want to embody, this is the form I want to create. And my process is also telling me, how I can go close to the character using that form, using that process. And I have talked about it, all these things, because the way we are doing these discussions, comprehensive and a lot of things put together in short videos. So if you have really understood, or if you have tried to understand what acting is, what is it like to be an actor, what is like to be having a community of actors where we are discussing acting, the science of it, the craft of it, the art of it. And when we are getting motivated by the material, the text, we are getting motivated by the process. We are getting motivated by the passion and enthusiasm we are trying to invest in the entire process or the creation, and how we can harness, the power of humanity, human emotions, and to create great characters, to create great scenes, to create great moments in a play, in drama, or in a movie. And we stick to our job. When we are actors, we are sticking to acting. When we are directors, we are sticking to directing. But as a creative leader, you have to know a lot. You have to know at least a bit of everything, or maybe a lot of everything. And you are supervising people in the right way. And if you want to be a director someday, then you need to understand the thing. How the story is being told with the written material, with the script, how the story is being told on screen, how the story is being told in moments. How the story is being told in moments, I think the voice will be, I'm so sorry. How the story is being told in the material, in the text, in the script. How the story is being told in the moments where you are actually doing the performances. how the story is being told on screen. And an actor can be a designer, a playwright can be a designer, a writer can be a designer. So you can learn a lot from design. Obviously, we talk about, design thinking, design as a process, design as a habit you can pursue, and a great habit to have. And a playwright can be a designer. He's a designer, in fact, designing the world, designing the characters. And ideas, we have ideas. Many people have ideas about movies. Many people have ideas about performances. Many people have ideas about cameras, how it will look like on screen, how it will look like with the techniques we can use with the camera. But cinema, an amalgamation of different art forms, and a great opportunity where we can play with things a lot, we can do our creative experiments, we can focus on the particular story we are telling, but we can always improvise and we can always tell it in a better way. Sometimes it should not distract us from the way we are telling the thing or the way we are doing the work. We are doing the work in the best possible way. But if we feel like, adding something more, if you feel like doing some more creative experiments, if you feel like, just tiny little changes we can do, maybe it is called for, and we feel like giving it. And when you are in that process, you are very close to the character, you are embodying the character, you are practicing a lot, you are immersed in that entire process. Naturally, you will feel like giving it. And then, professionalism comes into practice. Lights on, staging and blocking, marking the positions, cameras are there, the crew is there, and the actors have to perform. And they are wearing makeup, and they are maybe using props and all these things. Professionalism. How they can give a great performance. How they can enhance the storytelling. How they can give their best, to tell the story in the best possible way. And the way we are doing the discussions, as I already mentioned, if you have given a lot in this profession, if you have given a lot in this discipline, if you have given a lot in this pursuit, maybe one video, 2 videos we can do and you can relate to it, what he is talking about. And if you are not that sincere about it, if you are not that serious about it, if you have not gone through that thing, that process or that great experience you can have as an actor, as a director, as a writer. I can do hundreds of videos, I can do 200s of videos, 300s, maybe 500s, maybe thousands of videos. You will still not understand the thing. Because you don't want to understand. And I can just leave that aside because this is not the place for that. But if you have understood, I can do 1 video, I can do 2 videos, and you can understand. Yes, we are talking about acting in a great manner. We are talking about cinema in a great manner, and so much we can do. We still haven't explored much in acting, in cinema. And, many people have come up with theories, many people have come up with scientific theories, psychological theories. Many people can relate a lot to the psychological theories, while doing acting, while reading acting, while talking about acting, while writing about acting, while reading about acting. Many people have come up with a lot of ideas, philosophies, theories, wisdom. But that particular scene, how you are going to utilize that, how you are going to understand those things, take those things, and you can give that performance in the best possible way. Written material, the text, you are interpreting it, you are bringing your skill set, your forte, your expertise, your passion, your childish nature sometimes, your curiosity, and everything you can have, the good things and sometimes the bad things as well, to portray that particular character. And for that particular scene or for that particular performance, you are giving your best. But even if you cannot give your best, or maybe you have given your best a tiny little bit because the scene is not requiring much, but still you are preparing a lot for doing a small scene or maybe a small duration scene, few dialogues, few gestures, few things you have to do in that particular scene, but you have your education, your experience, your research, you as a human being, you as an artist, you as a professional, you as a craftsman, you as a madman sometimes. Madness is required in great acting performances, though sometimes we don't show it to people, but through acting people can see that, oh, this person has gone through a lot of hard work. And madness, we require creativity, madness, because this profession, this art, this endeavor, if I call it, it requires it. And we have a lot of fun doing it. We express ourselves in writing, in performances, in direction, in building the entire film together, building the entire world together, and shaping it. And we can shape it in different ways. So a lot of inspiration, a lot of things we can read, a lot of things we can practice. But if you do the practice the right way, if you have put a lot of effort, if you have understood that you are really sincere about playing that part, if you are really sincere about, giving your best to the performance, or, as I mentioned, maybe you are giving tiny little bit, but you can give a lot. So as a human being, you are getting shaped. If you become a director later, you can guide other actors. Even if you don't become, you understand acting more, and that is so much fun, And you can teach, you can write a book if you want to. You can guide other people, you can give seminars, lectures, and so many things you can do. Now write. What will you write about? Confused. People get confused. The topic, the subject you are talking about, and even if you talk about the subject, how you are going to talk about the subject, what you are going to talk about and how you are going to talk about, what you are going to talk about and how you are going to talk about. And you can also make it better. Few changes, different versions, and you are trying to, make it better and better because you want to make it the best possible movie you want to make. Performances, capturing the performances, art direction, building the world, doing every little thing regarding that movie. And the cast and crew, they are really working hard. You can come up with a lot of options. You can come up with a lot of things. But for that particular performance, for that particular movie, you are giving this much. That performance itself can tell you, oh, we can talk about this thing, we can write a script about it, we can make a movie about it. I want to portray this character. I want to play something else which is very different from this particular character. And rehearsal, because I cannot talk about the entire thing. But again, I am talking about rehearsal, and if you have rehearsed in a great way, you can relate to it. I'm talking about performances, and just by talking about performances, you can give so much. You can take inspiration from so many things. So you need to prepare, you need to work hard. It is not talks sounding good. Some people are doing that. Some people just want to talk about something. Some people want to give a lecture on something. Some people want to, give a seminar on something, and, it will look good. We are not talking about all those things here. And you have already understood that. And if you understand that, then itself, you are doing something good. You have put that effort. You have respected this profession. You have, become very sincere about this profession or that process. And you understand an artist. You understand this art, or try to understand this art. Always curious about, it, to understand it more. Complacence is where it gets boring. Complacence. We should not be complacent, because amalgamation of different art forms, and again we can do a lot of creative experiments. And the script gives you sort of like a map. This is the way we are going to tell this story. We are going to do these creative experiments. But when you are involved in that process, when you are involved in that entire movie in a sincere way, a lot of opportunities, to make the movie in a better way. Now, actors, they need an environment too. So we need to create that environment, where they can bring a lot to that performance. And directions, I have mentioned directions. Maybe you can talk about 1 or 2 lines and they will understand the character more. They will understand what the scene is demanding, what the scene is, shouting to have. But we can go through a discussion and the actor will understand, the crew will understand, and they will think about maybe few more things if it is required. But cinema, if I talk about the other art forms or whatever we have, they have been there for a long time. Cinema is relatively new. Even if it is new, people have experimented with cinema a lot. It appeals to the mass, it appeals to particular group of people, different movies, different requirements. But people get stuck with all these things. When they cannot make a movie, some people come up with useless arguments. Some people come up with, an attractive way to show their incompetence, but their intense effort to convince people otherwise. Sometimes for business it works, but if you don't understand it, getting frustrated, many cinemas don't get made, many films don't get made. And an attitude you have around cinema and around films, that becomes somewhat, you understand what I'm talking about. But here we don't mention it. That's the fun of it. Here we don't do that. Here we talk about actors. Here we talk about the community. So community, when I talk about community, this is a community where we are talking about actors. We are talking about cinema, and people are getting motivated by it. But that word community may mean something else to some. People who are experts, people who have been in this profession, they have seen it for a long time. They have seen it for a while. And nothing much to see, in fact, nothing much to explore, because it's so boring and it's so, bullshit. It is not having much to, to explore, so it will evoke something, it will spark an imagination, it will think about acting, it will think about the profession, nothing much. So even if you understand what it is like, that is enough for it. We don't need to delve deep into the thing as it seems like. We don't need to do that. What we need to do is, we can put more enthusiasm into the practice of acting, the process of acting, and well-being, what acting can bring to your life. You can be a professional actor, you cannot be a professional actor, but acting, you respect acting. You respect it as a profession, you respect it as an art, you respect it as business. And we can do a lot in acting, we can do a lot in cinema. Again, I will mention, amalgamation of different art forms. And we can do so many creative experiments. We can explore a lot. We should not become complacent in each and every step, especially not in the most important steps. We should not become complacent. And people who have created great movies, they never become complacent, because this is so much fun, to experiment, to innovate, to play with the creative techniques, because we are wanting to tell the story in a better way. We are wanting to have that emotional effect on the audience, so that they have a good time, they have a great experience while watching the movie. Entertainment. And we can do a lot. We can do a lot in cinema. We can do a lot in acting. And this is fun. Acting is fun. We should never forget that acting is fun.